Yo guys, what's up? It's Cherry here, coming at you guys with week 8 of the FBL, and this is going to be a post-com, and the reason why this is going to be a post-com is because my Premiere Pro is like doing something really buggy, and I can't like edit the video, so it's like cutting in and out and blah blah blah. I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. So this is going to be a post com, and I'm really sorry. However, this is a really nice match, so I definitely think you should stick around and definitely give it out. Check it out. That's what I meant to say. Ciao. Anyways, so without further ado, we're gonna get right into the footage. Like I said, this is another week of the FBL, and like I've said in all of my FBL videos, I need to win out. I just need to win out. And if I win out, I make playoffs. If I don't win out, then I don't think I make playoffs. So, oh God, it's been a very, I want to say stressful run. Because against Aaron, I couldn't scout at all. And he played like how I used to play, which, by the way, you should definitely check out that battle. I'll put it as like a bell on the top or whatever. That was a very intense match. And then coming down to week 7, I think, what was week 7? Week 7 was, Bishmi. Okay, that was fine. But then we have this week, which I'm showcasing right now, where I didn't really know the person. And like I said, I couldn't scout. They didn't really have any footage. And I didn't really know how they would play. And also, I'll put the matchup on the screen now. Wow, this is really rushed. But they didn't bring like Aegis Slash and like some other stuff that I was expecting, which really shocked me. So I was kind of put in a loop. But good luck, have fun to Coach Eric here. And another thing, I don't know what's with the Pokemon community lately and their nicknames. Like, y'all got to get it together, because I saw Raikou and I was like, oh my god, that's a good lead. No, it was Goodra. So here I am. This is actually supposed to be my semi-answer to Bulu, but no, I stay in and I decide to take an Ice Beam, knowing and saying to myself that this might be Specs. It's not Specs. But I get burned. So, you know, we're off to a great start. I feel like I've been getting frozen in like every other draft match. Every other draft match, I feel like I'm getting frozen, which is scary. It's very scary. But here I'm sitting here like, oh my god, I just got frozen. This was my semi-check to Bulu, and my switch into Crocodile, and this, then the third, and now I'm like struggling because I can't really use this thing anymore. Now it's static fodder, and there's a lot going on. So I make the switch out into the mon that I was supposed to make the switch out into, which is Gigalith, right? So Gigalith sets up Sand for my Excadrill, which is really good, which, spoilers, it's not Sand Rush, which ends up mattering in a bit. But here he clicks Ice Beam again because he's free to, and it does no damage. Now, if I went into Gigalith, I would much rather have Gigalith frozen than the Zapdos frozen. But no, I stay in. Misplay on me, and I totally deserved it. But here we have Gigalith here, and I'm sitting here like, Earthquake shouldn't do that much damage to me. I feel like I can just get up my rocks. Like, rocks are free, and just a free move. His removal was like Articuno, and he would have to get that in somehow, and with my team comp, then it could be a little interesting. But he brings in the Bulu as I get on my rocks, and then I realize, okay, now that my Zapdos is chipped down, even though Stone Edge would hurt, even my Zapdos is chipped down now I'm forced to go into Heracross when Heracross is supposed to be my switch in to Crocodile. So now I'm all over the place because I literally did not stick to my plan. Also, I prepped this team like 2 weeks ago at the date that I was playing. But he clicks Woodhammer and he proceeds to crit me, puts me at 8 HP, which makes me realize that it's banded, and then because of Sand being up, I die. So now I'm like, oh my god, I literally lose the game to Crocodile. I did not bring Sand Rush Excadrill, and if it's Scarf, then I lose. I need to chip it down somehow. I don't know how, but I need to chip it down so that I don't lose to it, because at this given moment, I literally lose to Crocodile. Like, Crocodile claims 4 kills, especially if it's Moxie. It claims 4 kills and it wins the game. So I'm like trying to figure out, how do I not lose to the Crocodile now? And you could say that this is partially my fault, which it is, because I was so blindsided at the fact that, oh my god, Sand Force is gonna do so much damage, which I should have brought Sand Rush Choice Banded like I originally had, but it's fine. I didn't really prep accordingly around Crocodile. I had one thing set on dealing with this Xmon, and it all just went downhill because of a turn 1 play, which, speaking of plays, he goes into Toxapex. Maybe he tried to bait that he was Shukaberry. I was Assault Vest, so I was like, if you're Shuka, then you're Shuka. That's whatever. And I just attacked what was in front of me. Like, I didn't really get it. But here is the man of the hour, the Hitmonlee Crocodile. You look at my team. I literally lose to this. I literally lose Earthquake or High Horsepower because he has Bulu, knockoff / high horsepower, knockoff, and close combat. Literally lose. Like, it literally mind boggles me, like, at how, looking at it now, because I played this like a week or two ago, looking at it now and seeing you did not prep for this mon accordingly. And he clicks close combat, predicting my switch, which props to him, because I was literally like in a sticky situation because I did not prep for this mon like I should have, which is the lesson that I learned from this game, which I guess this is kind of cute, like post-comming and like seeing like my mistakes. Yeah, my first mistake is not prepping enough for Crocodile. That's the first mistake. The second mistake is not using my Pokemon accordingly to plan, because Zapdos was not meant to stay in on Goodra. It was not. The actual switch into Goodra was unironically the Assault Vest Excadrill. Mind. But I go into my Zapdos praying that I maybe get a static so that it doesn't just downright sweep me with Scarf, because I'm 100% thinking that this thing is Scarf. And I'm sitting here like, I'm praying on a 30% right now, and I don't know what to do. Like, I can't switch into the thing, so I have to somehow get the static in order to put me back in this game. But he switches out and he goes into Goodra again. Oh, it's Raikou. Oh, I hate it here. He goes into the Raikou and I'm frozen. So I'm like, okay, like I'm literally a sitting duck here. I'm a sitting flying duck. That's literally what is on my screen. But I'm like, okay, I have to switch out. Guzzlord was meant to be my switch into the Raikou. Even though it's chipped down, it should still be able to take like 2 Aura Spheres or something like that. So I'm going into Guzzlord, hashtag gaze for Guzz, and he clicks substitute. And the first thing that pops in my mind is Subcom Mind. I see lefties too, Subcom Mind. That scared the daylights out of me, because if he gets up a +1, then that's really scary for my team. He clicks Aura Sphere and it does no damage. Shout out to Guzzlord. Guzzlord is so good. It does no damage. So I calc and I'm like, okay, I'm sitting at around 25%. I should be able to live the next one at around like pretty questionable HP, but I should be able to live the next one, and I can knock off its leftovers so that it can't really farm substitutes, which would be bad. So I knock off his lefties, and I pretty much sack Guzzlord to this. There's no point in saving this. It dies to Sandstorm. It dies to potential rocks that go up. There is no reason to save this. Please don't save this. Yes, okay, I'm sacking it. I should be sacking it, but yeah, no. I sack here. I'm thinking about it. Like, maybe I can use this as a sack, but the sack time is now. So I let him kill me, and then I think I go into Dragapult here, and it makes the most sense to go into Dragapult because that is the one thing that outspeeds Raikou on my team. Yeah, there we go. The one thing that outspeeds Raikou on my team. And I think I'm pretty much forced to click Shadow Ball or Darts. I think Shadow Ball is actually the play here. Yeah. Shadow Ball is the play. Covers for Bulu coming in potentially. And yeah, so Raikou's down. But the main issue is the Crocodile, because remember, I did not prep as much as I should have for Crocodile, and my Crocodile answer got crit. So it RNG, but like it's still my fault, you know. So Crocodile comes back in. It is literally free to, and I literally need to pray that I get a stag, because if I do not get a static, I lose. I literally lose to knockoff spam. Like, there's nothing I can do. He can kill my Zapdos. I'm forced to go into Gigalith. He can pivot into Bulu. Now I don't have a switch into Bulu. So it's literally like crazy. But I get the static, and because of the static, it puts me back in the game. So shout out to Zapdos. I guess from the RNG I deserved it, but in my opinion, from my prep and everything, I did not deserve that static. The Crocodile should have won from there, like, being honest. So, but I digress. I will take it because I need to win every game at this point in order to make it. So shout out to Thunder King. Shout out to 813, because 813 always names his Zapdos Thunder King, and every time he does, it gets a static. So whatever. But yeah, here I go into Gigalith because I'm like, I just want the sand up. Like, you can kill me. I should live a knockoff. Like, it's fine. He gets paralyzed, which I don't think mattered that much, because you still have Bulu. Bulu can freely come in here. That was another thing. I was shocked that he stayed in with Crocodile here, because he could have pivoted into Bulu for free. But I guess it's static, so didn't really do anything for him. So, but yeah, no. He sacks Crocodile. I mean, it doesn't really do anything for him. It doesn't outspeed anything anymore, so that's good for me. But here he goes into Bulu, which is free. And if I'm smart, because my Smooth Rock got knocked off, I probably should make the aggressive switch into Dragapult. Because Dragapult should be able to live any hit, barring a crit. I swear if I could crit again. I swear if I could crit again. Actually, no, I think at this point a crit doesn't really matter if he, like, kills Dragapult, because Gudra's still alive. So, oh, well, it depends. It depends on if he's Jolly Bulu. But here he goes for Horn Leech, and it does so much damage. Like, that's banded. That is definitely banded with how much damage that did. But I get, like, chipped down by Sandstorm, but Grassy Terrain's up, so I'm healing the damage that it's doing, and I'm forced to click Flamethrower. I cannot click Shadow Ball. I can't even click U-Turn, because this thing can 2-hit KO me, and because I'm not, like, Expert Belt, it lives, if it's, like, bulky, which I think it is, it lives the Flamethrower, so I need to chip it down for Excadrill, just in case it's adamant and not Jolly. But here he goes into Gudra, which I'm like, okay, nice prediction. But I can just click, maybe he thinks I'm choiced or something, I don't know, but I can literally click darts for free. I also feel like, I was also thinking maybe he's gonna double back into Bulu, but I feel like you don't gain anything from that scenario, so no idea. But I can click darts for free, and that should be a dead Gudra, which is nice. I don't have to worry about Gooey, which is also really good, considering the possibility that he is adamant Bulu, because if he is Jolly Bulu, then I lose the game, because I did not creep Jolly Bulu. I crept Adamant Bulu, because I didn't expect Jolly Max Speed Bulu. Yeah, so praying. But here I believe he goes into Articuno, which I think is the right play, and I think I sit on this play for quite a while, because I'm sitting here like, I can go into Gigalith. Gigalith is like fine. However, do I really gain anything from going into Gigalith? Like, oh no, I clicked darts first, and then the next play he clicks Ice Shard twice. So I think I'm like a turn ahead, but I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, is it worth potentially getting frozen? Like, I don't know how much speed you have on this. Like, and from that damage, I'm maybe thinking maybe it's like max HP. Like, I don't know. Like, you could be anything, really. And then, like, he could also roost, maybe predicting me to switch out. Like, there were so many things he could have potentially done. Like, I just didn't want to get frozen by an Ice Beam. Like, again, because if anything happens to my Excadrill, I'd literally lose the game. Like, automatically. First, I lost the game because I didn't really prep all that well around Crocodile. I didn't save my switch-ins for X amount of mons properly, because if Zapdos didn't go down, then I had a soft check to Bulu, which meant that I could save Heracross as my Crocodile switch-in, like I planned. But no, I didn't. So literally anything, if anything happens to Excadrill, or if the Bulu is jolly natured, then it wins the game. So I'm banking on the fact that it is adamant. So I click Iron Head here. I'm hoping that it's not max speed, but from the ice shard I can tell, I'm like, okay, it's not max speed, or like it's not like anything crazy. So I Iron Head and I get rid of the Articuno. So then here is like the pivotal turn. Like, if he is Jolly Banded, he wins the game off rip, because he kills my Excadrill, and then he kills my my Gigalith. Like, there's literally nothing I can do. But if he is adamant, then I outspeed him, and then I can kill him with a poison jab. And the reason I had poison jab and Iron Head, for anybody that's under, also I outsped, so I win the game. But for anybody that's confused, I had poison jab and Iron Head because they could have run both Kebia and Babiri, so it had to be either or. So I was hoping that they would run Kebia, because Excadrill, the first thing you think about Excadrill is Iron Head. So I was hoping they would run Babiri, but you know, it didn't matter because they ran Banded. But however, that is going to be the game. GG's to Eric. Looking at it now, I could have prepped better. I could have battled better. Like, I literally won that game because of a static. Which, granted, I got frozen and crit, but I wouldn't have gotten frozen if I switched down into Gigalith, which was my plan. And I wouldn't have gotten... Why is it showing that? Hold on, let me fix that there. Let me pop this back up. Let me pop this up. I wouldn't have gotten frozen on my Zapdos if I pivoted into Gigalith, which was my initial plan for Goodra, and I wouldn't have got crit by the Tapu Bulu if I didn't pivot in Heracross, which wasn't even meant for Bulu, it was meant for Crocodile. And if I still had the Heracross for the Crocodile, then I would have been in a perfectly fine scenario. But you live and you learn. And I'm glad that I learned from, not only after this match, but post-coming now, that I need to preserve my checks for the things that my check is supposed to be checking. But I digress. But we learn a lot here. I have one more game against Dolphin Squared that's going to go up by, I want to say, around Saturday or Sunday. I have a lot of matches up Saturday, on this weekend, but we're gonna have that up. And yeah, so that's gonna be GG's to Eric, and we take those. One more win and then we're in playoffs, baby. So win out, let's go. But with that being said, I'm gonna get the heck up out of here, and I will catch you all next time. Bye bye.